Okay, good evening, guys. My name is Deep Roy, and I'm working as a cybersecurity analyst at ICSS. And I have done many cybersecurity related projects like web application pen testing projects and network application pen testing projects. And also, I have done many bug bounties uh, in Backraut and Hackathon. Also, now currently I'm doing bug bounty in Hollow. Okay. So now today our topic is malware forensics. Okay. Here we will see that how can we identify and analysis a malware file. Okay. So we will explore the essential skill to detect and analyze malware file, and we will strengthen and proactive defense strategies in our cybersecurity field. So first is setting a forensic environment. Okay. So we need to make a isolated environment so that the malware will not spread through our network connection. Okay, so we need to create a isolated environment which you can create using VMware or sandbox, right? So what is the sandbox? Sandbox is a isolated environment where you can check the malware file in a way that it will not spread through your network. Okay, so we will call it that a sandbox. So we need to create a isolated environment, and we need to make sure that it is not connected to the network, because if it is connected to the network, it will spread through the network, and it will harm your network as the malware does, right? Now the key tool, we need to install these key tools like disassembler, debugger, network monitors, and hex editor. Using these tools we can able to check a malware file. Sample isolation like sandbox. Okay, like you in the previous I have just explained what is sandbox. So using sandbox we can test malware files as in a safe and control analysis path. Okay, now data collection one. So we need to obtain forensic images, and we need to use some static tools so that we can identify a malware file. Now initial malware identification, how we can identify a malware initially. First is file hashing. Okay, like what is file hashing and how can we identify it? So every files have a hashing algorithm. Every file is storing as a hash, right? So if we monitor all the signatures of the hash files, we can able to track a malware file. Okay, we need to first check the signatures, which we can check it by checking the hash files. Okay, this is known as malware signatures also. Now the antivirus scan. So using some antivirus scan, we can able to check or identify a malware file which is exist in the computer. So what is how actual antivirus detects a malware file? Suppose if a security researcher have find a malware file, he will upload this signature. Uh, Signature means the identification track. Okay, identification track means the malware tracking methodology which we used for track a malware file. Okay, so actual these antivirus have all the signature, and he will check all the signature that it is matching to the malware or not. If it is matching, it means that the malware is exist in the computer and he can able to track it. Now the strings and era. So this is the actual era is actual detecting malware tool. Using era we can able to detect a malware files. Okay, and also like there is a tool called virus total who actual check hashing against a malware databases. Okay, now the advanced identification techniques. First is history heuristic analysis. So how what is heuristic analysis? It actual detect a it actual detect a signature. Okay, how actually it detect a signature? Suppose uh, suppose a malware file encrypting all the files. Okay, it will detect the algorithms that which files actual encrypting files or decrypting the files. Okay, by checking this kind of signature he can able to find or track the vulnerability. Okay, and second is network and rootkit detection. So using heuristic analysis we can able to rootkit. What is rootkit? Rootkit is a certain type of malware which black hat hacker use for gaining access and exploiting some of the things in the victim's machine. So rootkit is very much critical to find. So that is why we need to use heuristics analysis so that we can able to find the rootkit. So how can they find the rootkit? They actually analyze the communication patterns and they scan the hidden files or processes. Okay. So also using this network analysis also we can able to check it. Like we need to check the system logs, tools like Process Explorer and find unexpected DLS files. Okay. So mainly rootkit actual hide in the DLS files. So we need to check it as well as now, static malware analysis. So this is the path of static malware analysis. First is deassembly. In deassembling, we convert binary code to human readable assembly language, and we need to read the assembly language, so can we can identify the file path and how actually the malware spread through the network. Then the code analysis also comes under this. So in the code analysis, we need to identify key functions, control flows, and the data structure without executing the file. If we execute the file, it means that it will spread through our network, right? Now the configuration and extraction part, it is the most crucial part. We need to retrieve the embedded malware settings for inside of our actions. Okay. Now the tools, these are the tools we use for the disassembly of malware file or disassembly, so that we can able to check the assembly language of it. So this tool name is IDA Pro and Gidra. Like that, this tools is for disassembling a malware file. Now the dynamic malware analysis. Here we need to create a isolated place. Like we can actually create a virtual machine in our VMware, and we need to make sure that this VMware is not connected to our network. Okay, because if it is connected to to our network or any network, it will spread, the malware will spread through the network. Okay, so that is why I need to make sure that it is not connected to any network, so that we can able to uh, test this malware as a isolated place. Also the monitor changes, so we need to track file system registry and processes alternation. Because what actual malware does, malware actually change the file system settings, registry settings, processes settings, so that he can able to spread through the whole file system, right? So we need to monitor this kind of thing. Third one is network analysis. So we need to identification communication to command and control server, because we need to check that it is actually creating a communication to the other network or not. If it is creating a communication to another other network or other port, it means that he the malware file is actually connecting to the other system which is outside of our network, and the outside of our network actual this machine actual trying to connect our machine. Now the behavioral insight. In the behavioral insight, we need to understand the malicious activity and payload delivery. Now, tools for malware forensics. So, disassemblers and the debuggers file. So, for disassembler and debugger, we need to use IDA Pro, Gidra, OliDVG, and WinDVG. So, these are the tools which actually we actually modify or change the malware file to s- malware file as a assembly language, so that you can able to understand the code of it, back of it, right? Second is network monitors and sandboxes. Like there is a Wireshark, TCP Cuckoo, Sandbox, and AnyRun. These tools actually monitors the network in a sandbox way. Okay, it will network all the monitors. It will monitors all the network packets which is connected, which is routed through our routers. Okay, all the network packets it will check it, so that we can able to scan all the packets. Okay, third one is hex editor. Tool like hex HHD and 010 editor for the file inspection. So this hex editor we will use for the file checking purposes. Now the example use like Wireshark to capture and analyze suspicious network packets. Like if I tell you one example, like Wireshark, it actually used for capture list suspicious network packets. Now the conclusion. First is importance. Malware forensics is a vital for effective incident response, because we need to research all the malware files so that we can able to create a signature and we can send it to the antivirus softwares, because antivirus softwares is preventing us for like this kind of malwares. So they actually match all the signatures so that he can able to find and the track the malware file. The key practices: identification analysis, so that we can unlock the malware understanding. Tools and skills, we need to use the right tools, and we need to update our skills continuously, so that we can able to find this malwares. Okay, so thank you very much. We will meet you on the next slide. Yeah, bye.